Good evening, you all, and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm. Okay, so make sure you guys please like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those great things. Okay, you guys, I wanted to talk about Carmelo Anthony, and I haven't really talked about this case. And I've been kind of just sitting back watching. And even when I got ready to say something about it yesterday, I don't know. I'm very sensitive and I get really emotional about stuff. So what I kind of do is I kind of pull back until I can handle really having a conversation about this case. Now, um, I've been looking at, this case was almost sensationalized like the OJ Simpson's case. This was like different. It was different because OJ Simpson's case was, I guess, a domestic, allegedly. They wanted to say it was a domestic violence. Of course, y'all know OJ was innocent, but um, it was a female white and OJ was a male black. Carmelo, these are children. Unfortunately, um, Austin lost his life, but just sitting back, looking at this thing, we already, I think that it was like I don't think that Carmelo had intentions on trying to kill Austin. So I definitely don't think that it was a first degree murder. I don't think that it was premeditated. I don't think he went there with the thought in his head that he was going to unalive the young man. I definitely don't believe that he had malice in his heart. I believe that it was definitely a accident. Okay. First degree murder in Texas. Um, let me see. Y'all give me a minute. But I'm sure it's like that everywhere. Um, it's not coming up though. I'm almost sure that just about everywhere it has to be premeditated. Um, I think it has to be premeditated, and we definitely don't believe that this was premeditated. Hold on, you guys. I'm trying to look up something because I know state to state. Okay, it says intentionally murdering an on duty, um, intentionally murdering during another felony, committing and attempting to commit kidnapping, burglary. Um, I don't think that Carmelo Anthony, I don't even know how he was charged with first degree murder. I don't see where there was any premeditation. Um, it says the felony because the charge applies when the defendant allegedly knew he or she would cause the death of the victim. Murder is also charged. I know murder, but I'm talking about first degree. At the very most, and if he had been, I do believe Now, people are talking about race baiting, but we have to be honest. If it was the other way around, I believe that Austin, they wouldn't have even given him manslaughter. They would have given him criminally negligent homicide. Okay. This is probably what Carmelo should have gotten. I can't understand for the life of me. I always get very suspicious when these attorneys allow for there to be an all white jury. Criminally negligent homicide occurs when criminal negligence results in someone else's death, accidental shooting, being responsible for an accident and not immediately calling for help, causing an accident due to reckless driving that results in someone's death, or other such acts that aren't premeditated are considered criminal negligence. This is what he should have gotten. And if it had been the other way around, because he did not go there, I don't believe with any premeditation or the thought or plan to go and kill this young man. Hold on one second. Let me see something. Um, in Texas, if he had been, if it okay in Texas, to 180 days to 2 years in jail. They would have given him that and given him time served. Okay. We have to be honest about this. I get very suspicious when you have attorneys that allow for a all white jury. Okay. They said that the judge, maybe I read that they tried to object to that. Um, I mean, that was a setup from the start. There's no way that there should have been an all white jury, but I want to look at some of this. Now, Carmelo's family is saying that they believe that the judge, not just the judge, but their attorney um, helped to set them up. But let's look at this.
Grateful to this jury.
This
We're grateful that the good citizens of Collin County, and today the process delivered accountability. We are grateful to this jury, and we are grateful that the good citizens of Collin County had an opportunity to weigh in on this case. I'm proud of the exceptional work of Bill Werski and our team of prosecutors, DA investigators, and victim advocates, and all the good and outstanding men and women of the Collin County District Attorney's Office. We thank all the parents and their brave kids who did the right thing. Despite the trauma of witnessing the senseless murder at a school track meet, they cooperated fully and testified truthfully. Their courage was essential to securing justice in this case. I'm especially honored to be joined here today by Jeff and Megan Metcalf and their son, Hunter. Their strength and grace through this has been their strength and grace throughout this unimaginable journey has been inspiring. They won't be taking questions at this time, but their presence here speaks volumes about their commitment to seeking.
Okay, so that's with the brother standing there now. Let's look at this over here.
Carmelo Anthony has been sentenced to 35 years in prison for the stabbing death of Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet. This is why Black people don't trust the criminal justice system. Let me explain. Carmelo was a 17-year-old high school student with a 3.7 GPA, captain of his track team, and no criminal record, who worked at a Foot Locker and H-E-B grocery store after school. Carmelo was sitting in a tent at a track meet last year when Austin Metcalf, a white kid, approached him and told him to leave. Carmelo was 5'11", only 160 pounds. Metcalf, the white teen, was 6 feet, 220 pounds. Word Carmelo Anthony has been sentenced to 35 years in prison for the stabbing death of Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet. This is why Black people don't trust the criminal justice system. Let me explain. Carmelo was a 17-year-old high school student with a 3.7 GPA, captain of his track team, and no criminal record, who worked at a Foot Locker and HEB grocery store after school. Carmelo was sitting in a tent at a track meet last year when Austin Metcalf, a white kid, approached him and told him to leave. Carmelo was 5'11", only 160 pounds. Metcalf, the white teen, was 6 feet, 225 pounds. Words were exchanged. Metcalf made physical contact. Carmelo said he felt his life was in danger and stabbed Metcalf to defend himself. He used a simple pocket knife he was legally allowed to carry. I'm not here to convince you that he's innocent or guilty, but whether you believe Carmelo or not, the legal process was stacked against him. Carmelo was 17, but tried as an adult. All qualified Black jurors for the trial were struck by the prosecution. Carmelo's lawyers objected, and the judge, a white Republican who calls himself a conservative, overruled them. Then the jury, with no Black members, deliberated less than 3 hours, found Carmelo guilty, and sentenced him to 35 years in prison. They rejected Carmelo's claim to self-defense, but self-defense works just fine in other cases, as long as the person doing the defending isn't Black. South Carolina store owner Rick Chow was found not guilty for killing 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack Belton. George Zimmerman was found not guilty for murdering 17-year-old Trayvon Martin in Florida. And Kyle Rittenhouse was found not guilty for shooting 2 people at a Black Lives Matter protest in Wisconsin. Now compare prison sentences. Carmelo, a high school teenager, got 35 years in prison. Roy Oliver, who shot 15-year-old Jordan Edwards, got only 15 years. Aaron Dean, who shot Tatiana Jefferson, got less than 12 years for manslaughter. And Amber Geiger, who shot and killed Botham Jean, got just 10 years. All those cases were decided by Texas courts in cases where white people killed Black people.
So what has to happen is I mean, I'm
They
a
A rich white billionaire convicted of 34 felonies who never spent a day in jail gets to live in the White House and pretend he is the world's biggest victim of weaponization in the justice system. But a Black teenager with a stellar record as a student athlete is thrown into prison for nearly twice the number of years he's been alive, and they call it justice.
well, here's the thing, you guys. These judges are elected. These judges are elected. And I think I've been saying from the very start, we have to get out and vote. The DA, the judges, and the sheriff's race are the 3 most important races in a county. I've been saying that since the 5 years I've been on here because they affect your life directly. Okay. Yet the judges race has a very low turnout. But we'll get out and we'll riot. We'll get in front of cameras and we'll get out there with our podcast and stand out there for days. Pissing on yourself. If you ain't putting nothing, no type of real action behind that, all you're gonna have is and praying because prayer, faith and prayer without works is dead. Okay, So when you get through doing all that and you ain't really doing nothing proactive in our community, all you're gonna have is some busted up bloody knees and your ass in the jail when you get through looting. So that's an oxymoron for real. So we're gonna really have to put some work behind and be proactive. Okay, and be proactive. Let's continue on though. Let's see. They're saying that Cardi B is under fire after slamming Carmelo's guilty verdict. She says, "Wow, just freaking disgusting. This is not justice. This is making an example." Okay. They've been showing examples on um they've been showing examples on social media. Let's see, am I showing the right? No, I'm not. Okay, let me go out of this. Okay, they're showing Carmelo's. I'm gonna show the other thing too. They're showing his new mugshot. I mean, they definitely did him dirty, y'all. I mean, my heart can go out to the young man that lost his life. Okay, but I don't think that he was trying to. It was not first degree. Okay. Um, this is Charleston White.
5,000 for the kids appeal. So yeah.
Yeah, I was just watching a video on that when you called.
Yeah. I'm putting it. They need 150, but I'm putting up 75.
Okay, now here is his family. Hold on, you all. Let me X out of this because I need to because it could be something that I'm doing. Here's Carmelo's family. Um, here's a short video with Carmelo's family, but I wanted to show this. Hold on one second. I also wanted to show this. Hold on one second. And I'm going to show his family. Okay, it's just I have a lot of white friends, but I'm making this post anyway. The Carmelo Anthony case has been eating me alive. For those who don't know, Carmelo Anthony, a black teenager in Texas, was sentenced to 35 years. Kason Allison, a white teenager in Texas, was sentenced to 10 years after a fatal stabbing involving another student. Both were teenagers, both brought knives to a school related event, both claimed self defense, both had significant criminal histories. No significant criminal histories, both took another young man's life. Yet one received 35 years and the other received 10 years. Now, before anybody start explaining legal technicalities, I understand the convictions were different. My question is deeper than that. Why does it feel like some people are given the benefit of the doubt while others are given the label? Okay. Yeah. It's sad. Okay, it's really sad because I think that it was criminal negligence because I don't think that he tried to and had it been the other way around, Austin, they would not. I don't even think it would have been a trial. Okay, um, it's really sad, but let's move on. I want to show you all Carmelo's Carmelo's family, their dad, his dad and his mother. And they're saying that they think that that they may have been set up by the lawyer.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And we're gonna keep fighting. Mm-hmm. We will not stop fighting for justice for my son.
And as parents, have you all struggled with guilt?
Talk to this person. Don't talk to this person. I feel like it was just a setup. Now, so they told us, go get white attorneys. Every black person I went to white attorney. No white attorney, they set them up, pushed them. Hey, here you go. I mean, no objections. It was things were smooth. So because as a father of me being who I am, I got to make sure she's straight. This mama bear. I got to make sure she's straight mentally because if she's not straight, my house ain't straight. I'm not straight. Then so cause I got the kids to worry about. Got to make sure his mental health. I can't go back and forth with him right then there because his mental can handle it. The misunderstanding of what dad is trying to say. This ain't a daddy moment.
If your son received a fair trial?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Okay. You heard him say that they told him to go get a white lawyer. Hold on one second. Now, this is Austin's dad.
And he told me, Pops, a little bit of sorrow because I'm human. And that poor boy is fixing to experience a life that I would not wish upon anyone. But
that man doesn't care anything about that. Listen, hey, it's his son. I'm not trying to take away from how he feels as a parent that has lost his child, but I know that he knows that, and hey, a lot of us, if we was in the shoes, maybe we would say it don't matter if he tried to do it or not. But this is not. It's not. It definitely was not first degree.
he deserves what he gets. Because what it boils down to for me is this. Austin will never walk through that door again and never give me a hug. This morning was the first day I woke up with a feeling of peace, comfort that I haven't experienced in 14 months. And I felt Austin give me a hug. And he told me, Pops, it's going to be okay.
And what do you attribute that good feeling to?
God.
They be racist as they can be. And then they'll throw God up in a minute. Hate you because of the color of your skin, feel like you less than, and then talk about they serve a God. God comes straight up out. They could come out the sewer, the trailer park, or whatever. Okay, but they gonna think that they're better and that your life means nothing. Now I can appreciate how the man feels because he lost a child. Lord knows that's something I don't want to ever experience. But a 17-year-old boy who says he felt that his life was threatened. He felt bullied, and I'm not saying that I'm not saying that what happened was right. I wish it would not have happened, but it was definitely not first degree. Okay. I don't know who advised this young man's father. Okay. They told him to go into that county and get white lawyers. All of these lawyers and these judges congregate together. They all know each other. They definitely advised him wrong. Okay. They told him don't talk, don't do this, don't talk to this person. And he says now in hindsight, it was a setup. Okay. He trusted the enemy that for some reason that was, they was ready to throw the book at his son. And that's what happened. Listen, I'm not saying that he should not be punished. I just don't believe that it was first degree. There was no premeditation in this. I don't think he knowingly went there to do this, right? And so, as I said before, that's why it is important that we get out and vote for the right people, okay? The same people that we see out rioting and looting, they're not going to vote, okay? We have to vote for the right folks. We can't just vote for people who come to our neighborhoods and set up and give you turkey sandwiches. I ain't saying go get you a turkey sandwich, okay? But don't vote for them, okay? Vet them. Vet these people and put the right people into office, okay? I was talking to somebody not too long ago, and they was talking about a jury, okay, had found this person guilty. And I said, well, this person was not a Caucasian person, but it was not a black person. He was a Native American, okay? And I said, let me tell you something. Unfortunately, you cannot have a all white jury. You think about it, and it's sad to say a lot of white people have not experienced or go through. They're not even, they don't identify with us. They don't know what we go through. Their lives have been totally different, so they can't tap into any emotion. They don't even understand other communities, right? So, I mean, they feel like the justice system, this is the justice system. You did the crime, you got to do the time. That the stuff that we go through does not come before them. So they are out of touch and they ain't trying to be in touch. So I think that any jury, any lawyer that allows a all white jury wants not unless it's an all white, not unless it's a white person, any lawyer that's representing a person, any person of color, and they get an all white jury, okay, they want that person to be convicted. And you cannot get a majority all white jury, because if you got two cuckabug heads on there, they will let the white jury convince them. They get scared of them. I just had to deal with the white people that said they gonna let them convince them to do what they want. Okay, they be jelly back. Okay, so if it's gonna be anyway, it needs to be half and half. But you don't have lawyers fighting for that, and they can do that. They can fight. And so if the judge go along with something like that, it's a mess in the game. And so this young man, and he's right, this young man is getting ready to have a life of hell. But hopefully it could be turned around and he can get the charges that he's supposed to get. I think criminal negligence is what he was supposed to get, because I don't think that there was any malice in what he did. It was definitely not premeditated. He was overly charged and overly sentenced, and that is wrong on so many levels. Okay. Anyways, you guys, listen. I know I've been missing in action. I'm trying to do another video tonight before I start doing my homework. But I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App.